You are sitting in the dark, thumb twitching over a glowing rectangle, searching for a feeling that never actually arrives. You think you're just bored or perhaps a little addicted, but in reality, you are responding to a 2 million-year-old alarm that thinks you are about to die. Every swipe you make is a ghost of a survival strategy that kept your ancestors alive on the African savanna. To your brain, being alone isn't a lifestyle choice. It is a death sentence. 2 million years ago, a human separated from the group was a human with no claws, no speed, and no camouflage. They were dead within days. Because of this, your biology developed a system where isolation fires a signal so physically uncomfortable that you are compelled to seek connection again. We call that signal loneliness, but for most of human history, it was the exact same thing as being in danger. When you scroll through a social media feed, you are attempting to satisfy an ancient requirement for environmental monitoring. Your ancestors spent their lives scanning the horizon, not for content, but for predators or allies. They lived in constant fear of the dark, where predators hunted after sunset, and every strange sound could mean a lethal threat. Survival was a team sport. Humans worked together to create traps, share food, and protect children. If you weren't plugged in to what the group was doing, you were vulnerable to the ice, the hunger, and the predators. Today, we have systematically dismantled the ancient structures that kept this survival alarm silent. We stopped sleeping in communal groups, stopped eating together by default, and moved into isolated rooms and cars. We replaced the physical warmth of the campfire, the literal meeting point where the group confirmed its existence through storytelling and touch, with a digital screen. This screen is a master of biological mimicry. It looks like connection, it sounds like connection, but it fails to trigger the biological reset your brain needs to feel safe. Your brain cannot immediately tell the difference between scrolling through someone else's life and actually being with them, but eventually, the body notices the lack of physical proximity and fires the alarm again. This is why you can spend 4 hours on your phone and feel more isolated than when you started. You are feeding a hunger with digital shadows. This doom scrolling is fueled by a narrative voice in your head that has been running for 60,000 years. This internal monologue isn't just a quirk, it's one of the oldest tools your species ever built to plan hunts and remember survival strategies. Ancient humans would verbalize their plans out loud to lock them into memory, using their voice as an internal GPS to navigate ridges where predators gathered. Now, that same voice narrates your digital hunts. It treats a lack of social likes with the same intensity as a man fighting over reproductive access or food 20,000 years ago. The sick feeling of modern social anxiety or jealousy is actually an evolved detection system designed to protect your resources and your place in the tribe. Your brain is running outdated software, an ancient program designed for a world of famine and predators inside a world of infinite calories and digital noise. This program makes you store fat for a winter that never comes and stay awake scanning a feed for a threat that isn't there. Even our health fears are filtered through this ancient lens. We view diseases like cancer as modern invaders, but ancient skeletons from 1.7 million years ago show that our ancestors were fighting the same battles without a single modern tool. They survived not through medicine, but through people, community members who carried those who couldn't walk and fed those who were blind or injured. We are biologically wired to be cared for and to care for others. It is why the Shanidar 1 Neanderthal lived to old age despite being deaf and disabled. When the digital alarm of loneliness starts to spiral, your own voice can become your worst enemy, treating your own thoughts as a threat detection event. However, you can hijack this system back using distance self-talk, addressing yourself by name to create the psychological distance your ancestors had when they discussed plans with their tribe. It tricks your brain into treating you like someone else, someone you can actually advise and comfort. You aren't broken for being unable to put the phone down. You are a very old animal trapped in a very new environment, desperately trying to find the campfire. The fire was never just about warmth. It was about the confirmation that you are not alone in the dark. The digital world offers you 1,000 mirrors, but what you actually need is a single witness. Put down the environmental monitor, step away from the digital ghost of the tribe, and find a real campfire. If understanding the ancient software in your head helped you navigate the modern world, subscribe to join our tribe as we decode more of the human story.